My question about home is, what do you think happens to you after you die? The Christians would often say, I don't have a home in this world. My home is being with God in heaven. To them, this earth can't be home, but for people who think that there's no life after death and you only die, then this is all we have. And that can be a little bit difficult to live with. Another interesting story I have to tell is when I went back and visited my grandparents' home. And the lawn furniture was the same, and I looked in the window and it looked the same. And I just was really lost in my own thoughts when a woman came out of the house. And so instead of talking to her, I just turned and walked away and ran away. But that made me realize that it's home no more. My grandparents are gone, and that home is owned by somebody else. That's what happens. It's all transient. It all gives away. Japanese have this saying, ningen no hakanasa, the brevity of human life. Maybe wisdom means recognizing that all home is temporary. We are born into a country, but beyond that, we have a huge choice of cultural elements from all over the world we can take. And today, increasingly, we do live in a cultural supermarket. People can pick and choose aspects of their lives. I had said in class that many of us no longer have a home because if you choose your home from the cultural supermarket, it's not your natural home anymore. It's not really a home that you take for granted as the place that you belong. I remember talking to a mainland Chinese student who came up to me after a class and said, look, I have no home anymore because I grew up in a poor, isolated Chinese village. But now I know that the world is much bigger than that. And yes, I can go home physically, but it won't seem like home anymore. And that's generally true for all of us. You can't go home again. And so where can home be? Is Hong Kong home? I hope so. Often when I'm writing the MTR, somebody will come up to me and say, hi, you know, you taught me in a class 15 years ago. That gives me a sense of feeling home. Wow, I've had an impact on people in my life, and it makes me really happy to see that. Most of the writing I do academically is logical primarily. Music is primarily emotional. I do think that the homes that we have historically had are gone. I wouldn't intellectualize it so much because we all do have some sense of home, of feeling really at peace. Obviously, home is where I make music. Home is where I do feel totally relaxed. Ideally, one can feel at home anywhere in the world. Now, that's going to be a slow passage taking place, but that's essential. Home should be the world. When that happens, we won't have racism anymore. We truly will be all on the same planet. That's why I entitled that piece of music, Love Your Planet, Not Your Country. My question about home is, can all the world be home?